Hello, Matthew 3. This is for you. Welcome to the science course. Today we'll talk about chapter 1, interdependence among living things and the environment. I am making this video for you to be able to watch this on YouTube so that you can watch this in your language. So you can just click and adjust and choose the translation for your language, especially the Thai language, okay? So you can review it and study and prepare for your test. Let me try to speak as soft as neutral and even as slow as possible so you can follow. All right? Remember, the purpose of this video is more on vocabulary building rather than more on videos. So we have topic 1.1, interdependence among organisms. What else do butterflies depend on for survival besides flowers? Species, population, community, habitat, and ecosystem. There are over 1 million different species of animals and plants on Earth, living in groups and interdependence on one another and their environment. To study interdependence among organisms, we need to be familiar with the following terms. We have here species. It means organisms with common characteristics. It can breathe among themselves and to produce fertile offspring. Examples of species in the picture are tadpole, snail, water lily, and fish. What is population? A population is made up of a number of organisms of the same species. All the organisms of the species live and breed in a particular habitat. Examples of populations in the picture are the population of tadpoles, the population of snails, the population of water lilies, the population of shrimps, and the population of water weeds. What is a community? A community is made up of many populations living together in a particular habitat. All fish, tadpoles, shrimps, water lilies, water weeds, frogs, and snails make up the pond community. What is a habitat? The habitat of an organism is the place where it lives. It is the place where the organism obtains its food, shelter, and protection. It is also the place where the organism reproduces. Some examples of habitats are a pond, a school field, and a rocky seashore. A habitat has many kinds of organisms living in it. What is an ecosystem? An ecosystem refers to the community of organisms living in the same habitat, together with the non-living components. An ecosystem is made up of biotic components, meaning the living components, and abiotic components, meaning the non-living components. All the organisms found in the pond, like fish, snails, tadpoles, water lilies, water weeds and shrimps, and all the non-living components like rock, sand, water, air, and mineral make up a pond ecosystem. Examples of other ecosystems, we have forest ecosystem, marine ecosystem, wetland ecosystem, grassland ecosystem, and here is the career guide. An ecologist studies living things and their relationship with their environment. They must be familiar with research methods and scientific equipment, such as the electron microscope and the computer. He is a person who wishes to be an ecologist, should be in the science and mathematics stream in secondary schools. Relationships between species, population, and community in a paddy field ecosystem. We have the paddy field ecosystem, consists of all the living components in the paddy field or community. And we have on the right the non-living components in the paddy field. Under this is the soil, air, water, and minerals. Under the all the living components in the paddy field or community, it is consist of population one. It means many paddy plants, which consist of species one or like paddy plant. And on the right side, we have here the population two, like example, many caterpillars. And we have species two under it. We have the caterpillar. And we have another population three. Examples are many snakes. And we have species three or snake. And we have population four. Example, many birds. And consist of like species four or bird. Now, interdependence of organisms creates a balanced ecosystem. Natural ecosystems are mostly complex. There are many populations living together in the same habitat. The different populations are interdependent on one another and with the non-living components of survival. The common cause of interaction between organisms and the environment is the need for food, shelter, and protection. Examples of the interdependence among living organisms. Most plants make their own food by photosynthesis and so are reliant on interaction with non-living components such as sunlight, air, and water. They also require nutrients from the soil. Animals cannot make their own food and so depend on other organisms for food and on plants for the supply of oxygen. Some organisms depend on other organisms for food, shelter, and protection. Some depend on rocks and soil for shelter. Microorganisms such as bacteria help to decompose dead organisms. The decomposition releases minerals into the soil, which in turn becomes nutrients for plants. Some insects, such as bees and butterflies, obtain food like pollen and nectar from flowers. In the process of obtaining food, these insects help in the pollination of flowers. Some plants rely on wind and water for pollination and seed dispersal. The interdependence among organisms and the environment creates a balanced ecosystem. A balanced ecosystem is one which does not appear to change very much over a period of time. It also provides organisms with all their daily needs, such as food, nutrients, gases, water, shelter, and mates. Slight changes in the number of one species will offset the number of other species. The ecosystem would take time to become balanced again. In order to maintain a balanced ecosystem, the following factors need to be maintained: the number of individuals in the different populations, the number of populations in the different communities, the composition of gases in the air and the quality of the air, the availability of water, soil, and nutrients. Well, you don't have workbook, but if you do, you can go to exercise number 1.1 on pages 2 and 3. Now, let's watch this ecosystem. You hear the sound, right? So let me pause this one for the moment. I'll be back.
In progress.
One day in 5th grade science class, not too long ago, I was introduced to the concept of an ecosystem, and it changed my life forever. Not sure what an ecosystem is? Don't worry. Today, we'll be heading outside to learn what ecosystems are, how we classify them, and why they matter to you and me. Let's get started. Ecosystems are communities of plants, animals, and their surroundings. They can be as large as Yellowstone National Park or as small as a single tree. Everything in the ecosystem is connected through a network of interactions which allow energy and nutrients to flow throughout the entire system. For example, let's think about a forest. Trees turn sunlight and nutrients into leaves, branches, and fruits, which provide food and shelter for animals. These animals help the trees grow by spreading their seeds and pollen, and create nutritious soil when they produce waste or die and decompose. We'll talk about all of this in more detail in future videos, but for now, the important thing to remember is that ecosystems are communities of many interconnected plants, animals, and their surroundings. We usually define ecosystems based on the types of plants and animals which can be found there. There are two main types of ecosystems, terrestrial and aquatic. Terrestrial ecosystems are land-based and include habitats such as forests and grasslands. Aquatic ecosystems are water-based and include habitats such as lakes, rivers, estuaries, and the ocean. Both of these types of ecosystems can occur in many different climates and include a wide variety of organisms depending on factors such as temperature, precipitation, and geographic features. For example, a forest in North Carolina might be home to animals such as red-shouldered hawks or black rat snakes, but a forest in Costa Rica could have scarlet macaws or bird snakes. In later videos, we'll learn about the different jobs that animals can have in an ecosystem. But for now, let's talk about why ecosystems are important to you and me. For one thing, healthy ecosystems ensure that a wide variety of plants and animals are able to survive and thrive. This variety of life is known as biodiversity. Biodiversity helps ecosystems recover from changes, such as wildfires, diseases, or invasive species, which could seriously upset the natural balance. When an ecosystem becomes unbalanced, it is harder for animals to find food and shelter, and plants to get the nutrients that they need to grow. This matters to you because healthy ecosystems keep our air and water clean and provide nutritious food for us and other animals. Also, studying these natural areas helps us learn how to protect them and keep them healthy. Can you think of an ecosystem that you enjoy spending time in? Maybe you like going on vacation to the beach or mountains, or playing soccer at a park. What animals and plants do you find in those places? When you make observations about the natural world, you are learning about ecosystems just like scientists. Thanks so much for joining me today and learning what ecosystems are, how we classify them, and why they're so important to you and me. In future videos, we'll be exploring different types of ecosystems to learn about the amazing animals and plants which we can find there. Until then,
All right. Conclusions. An ecosystem consists of living things such as plants, animals, and microorganisms, and non-living things such as light, water, temperature, minerals, and gas. These elements interact with each other. For example, plants need light, water, and carbon dioxide to make food. Animals need food and suitable environment, such as temperature and humidity, to live. The plants and animals interact with each other and with other non-living things, creating an ecosystem. A species is a group of individuals that have the same characteristics and can breed with each other to produce fertile young. A population is a group of organisms belonging to the same species, living in the same habitat, and interacting with one another. A community is a group of populations of different species living in the same habitat and interacting with one another. A habitat is where an organism lives and breathes. Check how much you understand this subtopic. I want you to go to page 5 and test yourself on 1.1. Answer all the questions there and see you later.